and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about the fixing of my teeth, my braces journey. But before we go into that, my name is Pumi Dukwe and my channel is about holistic personal development for women in their 20s and early 30s. So come on in. Where do we start? So when I started working, right, I used to do my nails and my hair at Zuleka Hair in Rosebank. And the owner of that salon is Zuleka Mutawung, Keza Mutawung's wife. And then I had a conversation with her. I had like business conversations with her. I wanted to start a salon then, especially a nail bar. So I had conversations with her about pricings, all that stuff. But then I also wanted to grow my speaking business, and she was so honest with me and I'm so grateful for her. She said to me, if you want to grow into the public speaking space specifically, you have to change your teeth. Like, she literally said that, go do your teeth, go put in the braces. So I tell you this because prior to that, I really, from the bottom of my heart, I never had a problem with my teeth. As crooked as they looked, they were never a stumbling block for me. Like, I went and I spoke even prior that with my teeth looking as crooked as they looked. I literally had two teeth on top of each other and I didn't see a problem with that. I used to have a very wide lips and I never had to have a problem. I never used to have a problem with that. And I say kudos to my mom and my dad because they are the ones who instilled that confidence. Like, even with my legs, how my legs look, knock knees, like I'm knock knees. I never had a problem with that. I was told by someone in high school that I have knock knees and I'm like, oh, okay. So I really never had a problem with how my teeth looked, okay? That's number one. And then after she said that, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even consult with my parents. It was literally a personal development activity, a decision that I had to take. It was not an emotional or insecurity decision. It really wasn't that. And then I went and I did my research, I did my pricing research, and I know that I wanted to do it cash, so I had to see if I can afford it. And yes, I could afford it. I did the x-ray. I think the x-ray costed me around 7,000 because it was consultation plus x-ray. So obviously you decide, do you want to go for it? Yes, I do want to go it. My doctor at the time, which is Dr. Ngema, did not have her own x-ray, so she referred me to someone else. So I went and I did my x-ray there. I came back, they gave me the quotation at that time, it was 32,000. So I'm like, yeah, I'll pay that cash, it's fine. And then my journey started. It started so well. It was not painful. Like, honestly, putting on braces, it was just I think the first 2 days, like, you really struggle, but after that it's kudos, but I must say one specific memory that I have about choosing which ones, because there's Invisaligners, which is you can't see that somebody has braces on. I know somebody who does, it's a celebrity, so I'm not sure if they want me to mention, but I can see when she speaks that she actually has them. And then it was ceramics, which they're not really as clear, as bold as the metal ones. So I chose the ceramic ones. The ceramic ones is like 300 more compared to the metal ones. The Invisaligns are way more expensive. They were like 100K at the time. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But also the metallic one, they feel very childish. It's like children should be having those. I'm like, because I'm already in the profession, let me just do the ceramic ones. I do, however, feel like I could have been advised otherwise, because it seemed like they give you that option, but they actually wanted you to choose the metallic one because the ceramic ones are way more sensitive, even in treatment and everything, as compared to the metal ones. So I chose the ceramic ones, and the only reason why I chose them because they look better. They don't do a better job than the metal ones. They don't, like, there's nothing else better. It's just the aesthetic of them, right? So that's the decision that I took. And then you go there for your monthly, your monthly visits to go and do your checkups. So I was paying monthly. So that 32,000 Rand, they broke it into monthly for 2 years. So, and then after that 2 years, when you take out your braces, you have retainers that you also must pay for, which is 6 point something. So that is not included in the cost of. So the 6.5 for the X-ray and the 6.5 for the retainers are two separate payments. And then your monthly payment was the 32,000. So the 32,000 was the one that was monthly, but the 6.5 I paid cash, and then the 32,000, and then there was COVID, right? So when I started in May until December, COVID hit 2020 March, so we were not allowed to go for treatment. So that whole year of 2020, we were not allowed to go for treatments. As a result, I didn't have any checkups. So there was literally a stall in the process. And I think we went like once or twice a year, but that was not effective because sometimes the doctor was not available, or we could see limited amount of patients and all that, the orthodontist doctor, right? So that was Dr. Ngema at that time. And then 2020, 2021, it was still a stall. Then we only got back into it at like 2022. So for me, by 2022, if we had been there 2020 and 2021, 2022 would have been the year that I removed my braces, but that did not happen that way. And then I had to take out 5 teeth. So I had 2 teeth on top of each other, back and one. And then they discovered one later, like after the X-ray. They discovered another teeth, I think it was here. Yeah, they discovered another teeth on top that was going to disturb the process. So they had to remove that as well. So all in all, I removed 5 teeth. The removal of that 5 teeth is separate costs, 1,000 Rand or 1,002 per teeth. I did that cash as well, separate from the 32,000 Rand that you are still paying every month, right? And then in 2022, we went back for treatments. But even in 2022, my then orthodontist, which is Dr. Ngema, was not available. She was not coming in as frequent, until they finally said she is going on retirement because of fatigue, So I can only imagine that now there had to be a new doctor coming in. And obviously, new leadership will always bring in new approaches to how they do things, even if they are doing the same thing. I mean, they are both orthodontists, but they will always bring in new approaches. So Dr. Vundla, who is the one that then came in, I personally think he has higher standards than Dr. Ngema, and he has a more personal touch. Like, you knew him. It's like you know him, even if you don't know him personally, but you feel like you know him personally because he really brings in that personal touch. You talk to him. So, but even in that journey of it being 2 doctors who own the practice, but there's also been other doctors who would then come in maybe for opinion. I don't know why they do that, but there will also then be other doctors that come in, right? And then I completed my payments way before my teeth were where they're supposed to be, right? So then I paid the retainers before I removed my braces, which is like 2 years before the journey ended. And I remember the people there were so shocked, like, how is this girl able to afford everything cash, But that is another story for another day of frugal living and saving and all that, and knowing that life comes with certain lifestyle choices that we make and how they affect us. So I paid every single thing cash. Nothing was medical aid. Nothing was paid for by someone else. My parents didn't even know how much this costed. It was everything me, right? And then the journey went on, and it started becoming long now. Like, I started going for the same treatment. So normally when you go, like, you have elastics, different types of blocks, different types of elastics, whether it's Debbie, Bama, it's literally different types. Now I started going for literally the same treatment for like a year. I've been going for Debbie's, Debbie's, every time Debbie's there. But I also realized that the doctor really had high standards, as long as he felt like it has not reached where it's supposed to reach, he just felt like, I'm not going to say don't come back, right? So that is how the journey went. And then finally this year, the other doctor came. Like I said, they will bring other doctors. And I think he saw my file and he was like, no, somebody can't be here for so long. No, And he appointed me for removal. They call it deboning. And then the following month, I went back to my original doctor and he was like, no, can we give you another month? I'm like, okay, but I'm tired. So I literally told him that I'm really tired of this process. I really wanted to get it over and done with. And I had such high hopes that this is the journey, this is the end of the journey, because I feel like as much as I go once a month, but I feel like if it's completely out of my system, like out of my appointment, it's going to make a difference in my life, So I literally said, no, I want to remove them. Then he booked me for removal on the 1st of June, which is yesterday from taking this video. And yeah, here we are. How has it changed me? I love my smile more. I wasn't expecting it to be emotional on the day of deboning, like removing the brace. I didn't expect the day to be emotional. I got an appointment for 9 o'clock. I got there early at 8:30. They told me, and that's one thing about their service that I really appreciated. Every single thing that they did, they tell you, like every single thing that they do, they tell you when they're about to do this, we're about to do this, they're about to do that, to a point where wherever I go to a practice or an institution, I look for that in other services. The other day I went to the bank and the guy asked me to rate him and I gave him a 7 and he was so shocked. I'm like, you were doing so many things that I didn't know why you were doing them. You were on your phone and I don't know why you were on your phone. He's like, but I was on my phone because I was helping you. I'm like, I didn't know that. So literally at Dr. Vundla, they tell you every single thing that they do when they're doing it, and the staff was also amazing. I don't know what they call them, but the dentist, I think it's orthodontists as well, but like they're the ones who do the actual thing. Those are like, they're so good. Okay. And then they even celebrated my qualification when I got my postgrad. Like, that's how good they are with their patients. And they remember you. Like, they remember your name. Like, when you come in, they literally remember who you are. I don't know, maybe also with me, because that's the person I am. I walk into a room and I'm like, voila, I am here. So I think that is why also maybe. But their service is really good. And even besides their humility, their actual profession, they're very good with that. Their appointment setting, the booking, reminding, being honest with you, giving you feedback when they're on you operating, when they tell you what they're about to do, they give you all the good feedback. And then I was doing the actual deboning and I didn't expect it to be so emotional until the lady took the pictures. So they will give you your first x-ray and your current x-ray. The difference, I was like, what? Yes, there is such a difference. I didn't whiten my teeth as well. There's no whitening. They said they don't, not that they don't prescribe it, but they said once you whiten your teeth, you have to continue to do it. So I've never done it. I've never whitened my teeth. I've washed my teeth at them as well. And yeah, all in all, I would give them an 8 as well in terms of service, in terms of the doctors, in terms of the practice itself. The receptionist, that lady is so good. Like, she is so good with people. She remembers everybody's names. I can't believe, like, we would literally be sitting, because normally my appointments were on a Saturday because I can't make it during the week. So we would be sitting like together in a row, and so many of us, and somebody would come in and she would call that person by name. I was like, what? She's so good. I just wish their payment place, like where you talk about finances, would be a bit like not in the people's eye, because sometimes people are making financial decisions and everybody in the line can either hear or see what's going on. That's the only thing I wish they could do differently. But otherwise, yeah, the service is great. And then in terms of one of the other reasons why I had my teeth were so front, I used to suck my thumb. So when my parents started going through a divorce process, I started sucking my thumb, and obviously through therapy and research, I got to understand why I was sucking my thumb, because that's where I found my most comfort. So I started doing that. And then it took longer than I thought it was going to take. They normally would say, they don't promise that it's going to take 3 years, but it's like 2 to 3 years. But mine took 7 years. But if you take out the 2 years, which is 2020 and 2021, you can say it's 5 years. So for me personally, it took longer than it was supposed to. I would have wished that it took a lesser time as well. And then I will give total thanks to Zuleka Mutaung. I really wish I could go back to her and say, Mama, thank you so much for that advice. Thank you so much for advising me. Because I mean, how many people have I met in my speaking career? How many people have I met in my business journey who didn't say anything, as much as I was confident about it. And I think these are the type of people that we need in our lives. Like, as much as they know that you're good at something or you're confident about something, but to be able to say, these are industry standards, or this is what matters, or this is what will help you, even so she really did not say, oh, your teeth are so ugly, you won't make. Excuse me, I'm sitting here with a cup of warm water and lemon. That's what I'm drinking this winter, because I'm trying to reduce, my sugar intake. So this is an alternative for tea, Joko specifically. So I really want to thank her for that, to say this is somebody who didn't even know me personally. Like, she met me once or twice because I was then doing my nails and my hair at her salon. So I was just like any other customer. But obviously, like I said before, because it's me, and now I will talk, now I will want to find out. So I was asking questions like, how did you start the salon? How much did you, because I wanted to start, at the time I wanted to start a salon. I still think I do want to do it, but not now. But it's something that I've always wanted to do. I've had a conversation also with Oslebo, this other lady who owns Mthobeli, a very beautiful salon. I was there when she started it, and I also asked her, and then I remember her words, and she said, location, 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 location. So yes, I still have your words, Oslebo. So yes, would I advise somebody to do their teeth? Absolutely. Like, if you want to do it, if you can afford it, then go for it. Do your research. At the time when I started, people my age were not having braces. It was not as popular as it is now. So I also think, because I know somebody who did it, but at a way lesser price than me. I think it was 10K less or 15K less, and they did it recently. So shop around so that you can see if your budget fits. But with me at the time, and I literally looked for a black owned specifically, like purpose. I did that with intention, but also look for something that you can afford. I always say we shouldn't support black business at our expense. Like, you shouldn't pay for a service that you can't afford. But also, if you are going to support black business, it has to be excellent. Like, it's your money that is coming out of your pocket. So even in the support of black businesses, but support businesses also that are good. So in closing, I would say I'm happy with my smile. I'm happy with their service. I'll give them an 8, and I'll say thank you so much to each and everyone who's been involved in my journey. To my friends, especially, who were always saying, even before I took out my braces, my friends were like, you look so beautiful, you look so gorgeous, you look so, they'll always compliment me. They'll always say my smile is beautiful. My teeth now, they look like my brother's without the braces. They really look like my brother's teeth. Like, I admire my brother's smile, and they look like his smile. And then there are people who are very nasty also in the journey, But when I look back at those people, it's all, I specifically have 2 people in mind, and both of them are people who don't like me. Like, they just don't like me in general. So when people don't like you, they will attack the very thing that is very near to attack. So there's one person who said, oh, you still have braces, Kanti, when are you taking them out? And when I look like, she doesn't like me, so yeah. And then the second person did the same thing, like, I'm like, she doesn't like me. So yes, because for example, like my aunt, who loves me dearly, I remember this other time they had a braai, and she made meat. She like packed meat for me, and I was like, I wouldn't be able to eat this because it's so what is so hard. It's like, the time will come when you'll be, when you'll be able to eat it. Nothing negative, like absolutely nothing negative. And then in terms of food, I think with me also, Shem, I must actually put in this point. If I'm going to be very honest, I did not listen to the rules. And I think that's one of the things why it took a bit longer. I did not listen to the rules. Okay, in terms of you can't eat chappy. I eat chappy almost every day. You can't eat meat. Yo, I'm a Xhosa woman, guys. Like, and now I chew my bones. Yo, and now I eat fruits as they are. Yo. Actually, I should have mentioned this earlier on. To be honest, I did not listen to the rules. You're not allowed to eat certain foods. Now there's nothing I stopped denying myself. Maybe in the first few weeks. But I was like, nah, fam. At church, the old ladies would say, why ufake lezi zinto? Do you want to lose weight? Because apparently people do it for that. So I would assume it works if you adhere to the rules of what you should not eat, then definitely you're going to lose weight, because there's so many things you're not allowed to chew. So I didn't do that. So apparently people do it before they get married to lose weight, and it works. I'm like, what? No, I would not do that. So the ladies at church thought I was getting married because I've always been petite. So they asked, like, why do you have those things on? Because you don't have to lose weight. Oh yeah, Shata, are you getting married? I'm not yet, but thanks for the blessing. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you found value in this, and I hope you do the things that are meant to grow you, and I hope you do them with heart. Like, don't let anybody convince you. I remember when I made the decision, I did not consult with anyone. I only consulted with the professionals. And I remember taking a video, and on the first day, unfortunately, it got lost with my previous phone, and which was not an iPhone, and I didn't know much about storage, blah 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 blah, and I missed that phone so much. I'll never forget my Note 9. Oof, I love that phone so much. But I took a video, and in the video I was like, this is my first journey in self-love. I'm doing this for me, and that's why I didn't consult with anyone. And with so many of my decisions, like there are so many decisions that I make in my life that I don't consult with anyone, because they are for me. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, choo-choo.